comedian David Mitchell has said the term is unfair. But what is mansplaining?
Vanessa, I can help you here. Mansplaining is quite simply when a man explains something to a woman in a condescending or patronising way, often assuming that she lacks the knowledge or expertise, even if she is actually informed on the matter.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm so glad you were here to set me straight and point it out. Correct me if I was going wrong on that. Thank you very much indeed, Jeremy. Peep Show star David Mitchell says that's just the way men converse, even with each other. One explains something to one, and then the other one explains something else to them, and then they explain something and explain something. But I'm wondering whether you think that men can be rather patronising when they mansplain to women, and if so, do you think you ought to call them out? Lowri.
I've got 2 sons, and I was watching a podcast recently where there was the most appalling woman who was so rude and offensive to the men, and they were so calm with her. And I know that my son had seen it, and I said, I'd like to offer you an apology on behalf of womankind, because I have spent most of my career slagging off men, essentially. And I kind of think we've gone too far, because actually, I think David Mitchell's got a point. There is that point where men do kind of witter on about stuff, and now I just sit and let them do it. If I go to the garage and I need my car fixed and he starts going on about you've got a problem with the blah 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 blah, I just say I'm kind of frightened if he wants to, if that makes him happy. But that's fine. So I think we should stop having a go at them. Actually, you can say, do you talk to each other that way when you're out with men?
Yeah. We do.
Do you?
Yeah, we do. I'm constantly
really,
given advice and giving advice to other men. That's what we do. I enjoy, because you know what the sad thing is? We're just trying to help. That's the thing. No, we're just trying to help, because this is what we do. If you come to us with a problem, we don't say, "Oh, are you okay?" Well, we try and solve it. Right. It's just in our DNA.
Right, Isabel, because Isabel has to live with this, don't you?
Well, my husband does love a bit of mansplaining, but it does come from a good place. He means well. But I think therein lies the problem. If I go to him and ask for help, fine. But if it's just about, anything and he just thinks I'm an idiot, I can't bear it. I have to say, though, David Mitchell is one of the funniest, most intelligent man out there. So if he wants to mansplain to me, he can anytime, because he probably knows a lot more about it than I do. But why is it that men feel that they have to tell us something that we already know?
And also tell us about our own lives. Tell us how we do our own jobs. Tell us about our own children. Tell us how to drive our own car.
Feel important.
It makes you feel important?
It makes us feel important. We're saving the damsel in distress. It
Well,
goes back to
that's where it gets annoying.
No, it is where it comes
We're not
from.
damsels
But do you
in
not
distress.
think women do that
Sometimes
too?
you are.
I think women. I said that woman I watched on this show was a horrible mirror, and I thought it's that. Particularly as a mother, I spent my time with teenage boys telling them you need to do that, you need to not do that, and they had this kind of tsunami of judgment and unasked for advice
I've got
from lots of
my
women.
wife and my daughter all tell me what to do all day long. Yeah. And you want to know what men talk about when we go out?
Tell me, what do
Nothing.
men? Nothing.
We just enjoy the silence, Vanessa. We just enjoy not being told what to do. And we just take the mick out of each other. That's pretty much what we do. We don't ask about anything. We just have a bit of poke a bit of fun and talk about nothing. It's heavenly.
Do you have to rein yourself in from mansplaining ever? Do you think I'm just about to tell Isabel how to, read the news and how to be, and actually maybe I shouldn't, or do you just give vent?
Yeah, I do catch myself sometimes, and it's something. But again, it's not like you're saying. We're stepping through minefields at the moment, guys. It's really easy to make a mistake. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ammo coming out in the last 5 or 10 years. We're ducking and diving, just trying to get through.
That's just sitting next to me, isn't it?
So those moments when we get to be with the boys, we just like to talk about rubbish, silly stuff. Silly nonsense.
But not feelings, emotions.
No, God,
the reason men have a lot of the problems that they do, not to womansplain, but, it seems to me that if guys talked about their feelings a bit more, there wouldn't be so many problems with
so do you want them not to talk about their feelings? I just want to get on with stuff.
I disagree there. I disagree. That's a bit of a trite thing.
Under 40.
I know. I'm well aware of it. I campaigned for it. Trust me. I attempted it myself when I was 28. I'm very aware of it. But that is not to do. It's to do with the pressure. It's to do with what's called the Atlas syndrome of feeling you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. And you can talk to you. No, it doesn't help with guys. We're not. It does. We just don't do this. We need to solve. I need to physically do stuff. And what men need help with is actually getting out of a hole, not being able to talk about it. Because I don't come away talking about. When my father died recently, so many of my friends said, "Oh, you want to talk about it?" The simple fact is, no, I don't. It doesn't make me feel any better. It makes me feel worse. What I want to do is get on with stuff to occupy myself, to make myself feel like I'm achieving something. We don't work in the same way, guys.
I'm clearly a man because I feel exactly the same way. I can't bear this endlessly talking about everything all the time. Just get stuff done. I get very bored with it. I I think that, I don't, and when I was in my teens, I can remember, that men would often mansplain, but I think they've done quite a lot of work, a lot of men, not to do it now. You're walking through a minefield. They're trying.
Still wandering around.
I do too. I seem to be having dinner with those dinosaurs all the time as they give me a good lecture on, Yes, and I just think, wait a minute, do you think I don't know this stuff? And am I meant to pretend I don't know to kind of flatter your ego?
Cambridge educated, for goodness sake.
Yes, and you just think,
do you never play up to
that.
it? Do you never play up to it? You don't ever pretend to be a bit dumb to get what you want?
Pretend.
Exactly.
Well, it's really, I don't want to say it.
I had to go and get a new wheel nut for my car the other day. I have no interest in wheel nuts. No. So I went in there, and there was this most fantastic man. He was probably in his 50s. He had the kind of trousers with lots of pockets.
Yeah.
And he said, before you order it, let me just come and have a look at the car. And he got a tray out, and the tray had little compartments in with every wheel nut in the world in this tray. And I thought, and he was probably called Colin or Jeff or something. You know what I mean?
I like the sound of Jeff.
Exactly, I did too. And he came, he didn't really speak and ask me how I was. He just wanted to talk about wheel nuts. Yeah. And he sat by my car and he just tried them. I thought, I like that. I've forgotten how much I like that. And that goes with he knows a lot about wheel nuts. And he'll talk to me about wheel nuts. And I have no real interest in wheel nuts. But
listening to it. I mean, how
do not phone me about wheel nuts. Please don't make any calls about wheel nuts. I don't want to know about them. I don't know about them. I'm sure they're vital. Let somebody else know about them. They can mansplain all they want. Let's go to Robin in Gloucestershire. Robin, are you a mansplainer, sir?
No. Morning.
Morning.
Lovely panel.
Afternoon.
This is great fun. I think, yes, it is condescending and it is taking away from somebody. I mean, the only hope is, I think I've got a 19-year-old grandson. He wouldn't do this because he understands it. The idea is that, it's coming from a good place doesn't mitigate the kind of annoyance. I mean, ignorance isn't bliss, it's hell. So just be aware. I mean, if you've got a hole in the road and you know it's there, you don't have to keep very well falling in it. So, mansplaining is appalling, and I would always call it out.
Tell me the secret of one of life's greatest mysteries, Robin, which is, what do men talk about when they're on their own together?
Robin.
What do they say to each other?
Well, my lovely group, they talk about the situation at the moment, politics, occasionally banter. They set me up once. They were very naughty, and they set me up, and they pretended to not understand a word I was saying. And then I realised, and we all fell apart. But they don't talk about nothing. They don't talk about nothing. But generally, we have a good rant. We all have a good rant about anything. About anything.
And would you call that a sort of mansplaining? You rant about one thing, your mate rants about something.
No. They're not telling me how to think. They're not assuming I don't know what I already know.
Right.
We talk genuinely about how we feel. And men can do that, They actually can do that.
We think Robin's rather unusual, Jeremy.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I don't think that's the norm in my experience anyway. I mean, I know people are happy to listen, but I just don't do it. And guys, we just don't do it.
All right.
We just go and do something together and make ourselves happy.